Hello, my beautiful and talented people. Thank you so much for everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Just so you know, if you want to win a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit that 5,000 subscribers. All you need to do is comment and be subscribed, and you're in the running for that. So we've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. And today we're looking into what will help you remove your blockages and connect more to the divine, in addition to any shadow work, So take a moment, feel which one seems right to you, and we're going to move on to our gorgeous pile number 1s. Hello, pile number 1. What will help you remove blockages and connect to the divine? Temperance, Page of Wands, the Empress, and the Page of Swords. So with temperance is about, it can be about balancing unlike things. It can be balancing your mind and your heart. But I am getting that there is, and that's why it's a very healing card. That's also why it's a card that symbolizes patience. But for you, I'm getting that you it's also about not being too extreme. Like there's a need to find your emotional balance and be in the highest version of yourself. With the Empress, whether you're male, female, however you identify, the Empress is somebody who is very self-actualized. Yeah, self-actualized is something that's... So I feel like it's not that you have that far to go, because you already have glimpses of your more self-actualized self. Yeah. But with the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands, there's a little bit further that you need to go. Like the Page of Swords, that can be about observing, but it is about... But since I got 2 pages are people who are kind of also at the beginning of a journey, people who, like, these are maybe areas in your life where you already have this potential to be this person who is all balanced, because the Empress is balanced in all the elements. The Empress, even though, yes, there is a primary sign that it's the Empress is associated with, but the Empress is able to use her intellect or his intellect. It's just that you're maybe more creative and more receptive, but you have the intellect, you have the grounding, you have the fire. Yeah. But I'm getting, like, making sure that you're doing what you can to take action on the things that you can, even if you're starting new in certain areas. So it's not that you don't have this developed, but maybe you are having to see things in different ways, and maybe you are having to put your energy in different directions. But this is all part of your balancing. This is all part of what's going to put you most in touch with your highest self. The Hierophant can be about tradition. It can be about commitment. It can be about what's expected. Okay, I feel like that there is something, like, there is this concern about what societally you are expected from you, and that causes anxiety. But the truth is, you already know, but you need to go inside. Like your the revelation, the truth isn't necessarily going to come from what society expects of you, but instead what you know in your heart and in your mind, with the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, that's about emotional mastery. And to be honest, Temperance is also about emotional mastery. You have this ability to master your emotions, but it's like you're letting what you think should be get in the way of what actually is. But really, once you get what you're willing to truly be in touch and in control of your emotions, then that is what is going to give you that light. And light is information. Light is, it's like, you already know. But truthfully, there is things that you're going to have to let go of because they don't, there's a reason why you can't do things that way. And it's not because nobody can, it is because it is not, you know, the truth is in you, and that's going to some extent, really shake your foundation. Because the truth may be not what you were told. Queen of Swords. Yeah. So you are going to have to be willing to see the truth and not necessarily, you know, like see the truth, be willing to act on the truth. And this truth is internal to you. But it's a no lies, no bull, just truth. 7 of Pentacles. It's like there's something, I mean, this can be a patience card and this can be a patience card, but I'm not getting specifically that you need to be patient regarding something. I'm getting like you need to even out your emotions. You need to not be, you need to control your emotions and not have your emotions control you. Be willing to see the truth and act on the truth, even if it's difficult. And I feel like that there's something that you need to nurture. And but it's going to be necessary for you to be able to discern what's of value and what you shouldn't keep putting your time into. Shadow work. What will help you remove blockages and connect more to the divine? Move forward. Yeah. Your foundations have clearly been shaken. Your old beliefs may no longer, work for you anymore. And you still need to move forward. And I feel like deep down, once you let yourself, not just pay attention to what you're dissatisfied with, but pay attention to what you know to be true, then you're going to be able to have this self-mastery and really put yourself in this position of being this person that you know you're well grounded, but there's an action that needs to happen. What will help you remove your back blockages? Connect to the divine. What will help you? Okay, with the clock, I'm getting like there's a need to realize, yeah, because I'm not getting waiting. Like you need to realize that now is the time. Like you taking action on what you know is right. Now is the time to take action. Now is the only time. Yeah. So I've got malachite. Now, definitely you guys can look up and see if that's appropriate to you. But malachite, obviously the green is of significance. The green is in the heart chakra. So just know that, again, you need to be building your heart. Again, there's green in this figure, again, because it is the heart chakra. I'm also getting like there's some kind of protection. And that's just from the feeling. So there is a need to control your emotions and take responsibility for your actions, move forward, and allow the things that maybe you believed were true, allow them to accept that maybe they weren't a strong foundation for you. But that no matter what, you still have you. You still have this internal knowledge, you still have this internal growth, you still have the impact you make on the world, and you have this ability to self-actualize in this world. So with the four-leaf clover, like there is luck involved. And I doubt that it feels lucky, but because you know your foundations were shaken, but ultimately it's because they weren't on a good foundation. So you're getting the knowledge you need to go to the next level. But there is that moving forward that needs to happen. But again, luck, and then you have the sun. And of course, sun here, like there is going to be clarity. There is going to be happiness and peace for you. But again, there's that need to move forward. And there's need to, I'm getting like, I just heard like crown yourself. Like you need to realize that you aren't constrained as much by the things that you think that you were. The things fell apart in that area because it was supposed to show you the fragility of that and really come to make you realize your own mastery of this, of yourself, which gives you mastery of your environment. With the Tinkerbell, I mean, there's definitely a need for, you know, like there's this magical element, but there's this need to, yeah, there's this need to open up to that happiness inside, and even your inner child, like that there is wisdom there as well. So it's not that obviously with the Tower, you have dealt with seriousness. And it's not about, there's a time and a place for that. There's also a time and a place to understand that even if you deal with seriousness, that there is salvation in that inner innocence. That truthfully, yes, people can harm, but you have the ability to never fully let that go. Again, what happens to you is not, what happens to you is not a reflection on who you are as a person. Sometimes things are bigger because they're, everybody's got some free will and everybody uses it the way they will. But you can still allow that inner childhood, that inner tenderness, like you can, even if things went really wrong, you can take that part of you back. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 as soon as I hit 5,000 subscribers. So just make sure that you're subscribed and you comment. I also want to say thanks for everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, booking readings. It all matters, and I really appreciate it. So my gorgeous pile number 2s. What will help you remove blockages, help connect you more to the block? Excuse me. So what is going to help you remove blockages, connect to the divine, any shadow work you need to do? What's going to help you? 8 of Wands. There's a call for action. 10 of Swords. Yeah, there has been an end to something that's been very difficult. And with the 5 of Cups, there's this overwhelming disappointment. But there are things still standing. There are good things still in your life. And there is this ability to move forward onto calmer waters. So yes, there was loss, but not all is lost. And there is the actions, like there has been something and it ended and it was brutal. It was not pleasant. It was not fun. But that ending is not your ending. Yeah, that ending is not your ending. That ending is an opportunity still for you to move forward and you to move towards things that you truly want. What will help you remove blockages and further connect to the divine? The shadow work. King of Pentacles. So are you moving towards the King of Pentacles? Are you the King of Pentacles? I'm getting like, even though something very difficult happened, you are going to be able to manifest this security. It does require you moving on, moving forward, and not getting lost in the loss. But so again, this is a decision. And know that even throughout the loss, it wasn't a complete and total loss. Now, it may be a fully, like, there may be no going back in that situation, but again, that situation left you in a place of lack. I'm going to push this down just a little bit. It left you in a place of lack. And again, you are somebody who can build foundation for yourself. You are somebody who can, like, you can bring you can bring money to you. But are you going to pick up one of those staffs? Because this is about making a decision to make a move. Are you going to take that staff and then be somebody who really makes a move? Like, I feel like you can be a little bit lost in what you've lost instead of realizing that, yes, you had a loss, but now you're in an opportunity to truly make a move towards your prosperity, towards being in charge. Yeah. So yes, you are in a place that you lost. You are in a place that, well, you experienced a loss, but that doesn't mean that, that all gain is out of your life. That's not the case. Just means that you lost some things, and it's difficult to look away. It's difficult because, like, the entire situation was difficult. It was painful, but oof, and all of the cards just decided to fly everywhere. But this was the one that actually came out. Instead of having, your needs not getting met, really, you can be in a position, like, some of you may receive generosity from others, but I'm getting, like, you have the opportunity to have what you put in, like the input you put in, have it come out, like, have an equal exchange. So if you were in a situation where, it didn't feel like you put in, but it's like one stab after another, that's being cleared from you, because you're meant to be this powerful, stable figure. And with the 5 of Pentacles coming out twice, this did affect you. And I feel like it affected you both financially and emotionally. Like, the financial lack that you received by, quite frankly, a situation that wasn't fair to you has translated to feeling that, maybe you somehow deserved that lack. And that's not true. But it's like the time is a time for action. The time is for action. It's not about, because I feel like in the past, you probably had something that wasn't cooperating with you, and that it did lead to this loss. But now you need to make the decision. Are you moving forward? Are you cooperating with you? Because just because you've had a loss doesn't mean you need to stay down. And just because you really had a loss doesn't mean that you deserve to stay in lack. That's not who you are. That's not where you're meant to be. And, like, the inputs that you put in are things that you can get back out again. But I'm getting, like, action is the watchword. Empress. Yeah, like, you have this opportunity to attract so much wealth and abundance to you. But you need to be at a place where you understand that, yeah, just because you hit a failure doesn't mean you'll always fail. Just because there was situations that were unfair doesn't mean that, that happened because it didn't happen because you deserved it. It's not about, and whatever ended for a good reason. And now you're going to be able to be in a position where you can get equal exchange. And since you are this awesome person, and as long as you're really putting in the work, it's like just because one thing wasn't meant to work out doesn't mean that, you know, that you aren't going to get massive success. Like you aren't meant to subsist. So walk your truth. Like, yes, you've had losses and they've hurt you and it wasn't all right, but be on your own team, because like you being on your team is, as soon as you're on your team, you're on the winning team. Because you intrinsically, who you are is meant to win, but you do need to be taking that action towards it. You do need to be, yeah, like I knew the Ace of Wands was going to come out, because this is about, like, most of what you got are wands and pentacles. You know, the swords you've got are like, be able to move on. And, you know, you did have an ending and it was rough, and you may have been betrayed. You may have never been given a, you know, like, you may have never been really given that shot in that situation. But just because one situation fell doesn't mean that you don't have this opportunity. You do. You have brand new beginnings that you can make bigger than the opportunity that you're so broken up about now. Just know that who you are, like literally, like spirit, the thing that spirit wants you to know is who you are. If you're in your truth, if you're walking your truth, who you are can't help but bring this momentum, this inspiration, this abundance to you. But you have to be also willing to not fight who you are, willing to accept, like, make the decision to move and move, be willing to put a lot of action and effort out there. But that's okay, because who you are intrinsically, when you haven't accepted that, you know, you've experienced losses, so you're supposed to, who you are is meant to win. And there's this need to realize that with the clock, that the time for you to take action is now. And you may not know exactly what action. It's just about constantly taking that step to move forward. Like whatever step, no matter how small of a step, like what can you do? Because this is about action and practicality. And really knowing who you are. Because who you are is the Empress. Who you are is the King of Pentacles. Who you are is abundance. And who you are is somebody who attracts abundance, who also, you know, works for it. So the pain you experienced, it gave you wisdom. So use the wisdom from what you experienced, not the belief that you can't get better, but but you know, maybe the knowledge about what situations you shouldn't tolerate, so that you can see that situation so much sooner, so that it doesn't, so you can cut it out way before it gets to this level. Because what's going to help you is clarity. And I'm feeling like that clarity that needs to happen is internal clarity. But hope and healing is going to happen for you. There's 2 stars on here. Of course, the star stands for hope, healing. But I'm getting like one star is like one star is the opposite of the other. Like maybe what you put all your hope on was the opposite of what you know, like it may not look, the hope, the healing, it may not look like you originally thought that it would. And at the same time, it may be way better than what you had expected. You know, your sights might have been too low. So I'm getting, since this is about a beautiful connection that you do have in connections in your life that you should be nourishing right now. With Nana in the heart, you know, like you may have some kind of female ancestor that is, you know, very significant and important to you. That this is somebody that, you know, whether they're here or they're not here, is either willing to help you or trying to help you. So you should know that you are experiencing luck. And I know that it doesn't seem like it because you're having to move on from pain and loss and are feeling this lack. So I'm not trying to say that everything is rosy, but there are things that if you can look away from the loss, there are definitely, and take action on the things that you need to take action on, that you're going to be so much happier. It's just, don't get preoccupied with the loss. You may have lost it because it wasn't meant for you. You may have lost it because it wouldn't allow you to be the most intrinsically you version of you. And that is going to be the source of your success and happiness. So I hope that this helped you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away 2 at 5,000 subscribers. So make sure that you're subscribed and you comment. I also want to just say thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, booking readings. It really matters, and I'm very grateful. So we're going to move on to our gorgeous pile number 3s. Pile number 3, my beautiful and talented people. What will help you remove blockages and connect to the divine? Like, what shadow work is going to help you the most? King of Cups, Page of Swords, 3 of Swords, and 4 of Swords. You are being called to be a master of your emotions, to control your emotions and not let them control you. It doesn't mean that you can't feel deeply. It is about feeling deeply, but it is also about being the master of your emotions and not the slave to them. You have a lot of swords cards, the Page of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords. But with the 3 of Swords and the 4 of Swords, like, know that you're going to be able to heal this broken heart. Like, you are going to be able to heal this pain. And I feel like some of the healing of this pain is about feeling the emotions that you need to feel. And it is going to be about communicating truths that you need to communicate. Because pages are all about communication, and I'm getting that it's not necessarily just about observation for you. Sometimes that it can be an observational card, but for you, things and honesty needs to be said. Honesty needs to be said, and 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 there's, like literally if you can embrace and control your emotions, like you will have this healing of that broken heart that you want. Will be able to walk away from what doesn't serve you. Queen of Swords. And it's about mastering your emotions, but also cutting out people and situations that don't serve you. Because ultimately, there's meant to be an end to this cycle. It's not like constant heartache. It's not sustainable. It's going to have to end at some point. And once you're willing to let it end, once you're willing to let the pain end and let there be a new beginning, walk away from what's unhealthy, the things that, like there isn't going to be anything in your way anymore. You will have balanced your mind and your heart. You will have balanced your energy so it's like once you can like walk away from what doesn't help you and truly finish healing your broken heart, like there is nothing in your way. It's just. So what will help you remove blockages and connect to the divine? The shadow work. Okay. So with the King of Wands, are you the King of Wands? Is this somebody else? I only ask because there are choices that need to be made by you. But I'm getting like the mastery of your emotions, the cutting out what doesn't serve you it's just going to allow you to move forward and not be somebody who's be somebody who's taking leadership in your own life. And yes, there are things that you're going to have to face where you're not going to 100% know what's going on. But truthfully, if you can, this is an opportunity for you to use your intuition. Because once you're truly being able to, once you've cut out the things, once you're really willing to trust yourself, you're going to be able to see better in these situations. Now with the Lovers, so Lovers, just disregarding anybody else because obviously it is a romance card as well. So you definitely will have the ability to have a mutually loving relationship. And you may need to know that because, of the past heartbreak, that is still something that you can have. You do need to choose it, though. You do need to be able to decipher. I feel like that, is this you? No, I feel like that if you're willing to choose to be in control of your emotions and take control of your life and cut out the things that aren't healthy, you're going to be given, like somebody is going to come into your life. They're going to be on that level. I don't know if you know this person, or I don't know if this is somebody that's going to come into your life. But know that, like, the work that you do, the just know that, like, the love that you're being able to heal back into your heart, like, that is, that is putting it out in the universe. That is something that it will come back to you. You fixing your heart, you healing your heart, you are going to have the opportunity for your heart to be illuminated, for people to take care of your heart. You're going to get the opportunity to have somebody who will truly be nurturing and strong and loving and kind and intelligent. Like, you are going, like, you can have all of that are things that you're going to have, like, but you do have to let yourself heal. You do have to take the time to heal that broken heart, to let it be healed, to not, like, to be willing to move forward, even to be able to communicate what you need to communicate. So if you do have somebody that's shown a lot of caring for you in your life, and if you haven't communicated it, you have to. The Golden Crown is about compassion. It's about the universe seeing your compassion, seeing that joy, that the benefit that you bring to the world. And it's like, you do bring this benefit, and it doesn't mean your heart has never been broken. Your heart has been broken. But, like, the healing is here. Your ability to control your emotions, be in charge of your emotions, is here. And you're going to have this peace. You're going to have this happiness. You're going to have people who are absolutely worthy of this kindness and this love that you bring. With the rat, again, like, deep down, if there are people you need to cut out of your life. I mean, we just got out of the year of the rat, but, like, there is this need to emotionally walk away from people and situations that don't mean you that well. And that's okay to do that. You will only walk into better things, but you can't keep holding on. You can't keep holding on to the familiar pain. Because what you're meant to do is receive healing and move forward. And again, you're with that moon, and again, the moon in this card, like, and even the third eye that's lit up there, like, you're being given all these signs to move forward towards something better and happier. But you're the person who has to pick up this Ace of Wands. You're the one who has to pick up and take action. You're the one who needs to walk away from what's not good for you and decide what you want in your life and start making your new beginning with it. So just know that there's a need for you to have more clarity within yourself. So, I mean, obviously there's the shell analogy, because I have, broken heart and, taking your time to heal. I mean, there could be slow and steady wins the race, but what I'm actually getting, like, think about your longevity, because this is also turtles, especially sea turtles, live for a very long time. Just think about how you want to live in your time. So with a little pixie, my hands are all shaky right now, so I apologize. But with the pixie, it's like there's a need to believe a little bit in the magical, and in the, and not necessarily, you know 333 is on the clock. Now you can clap your hands for Tinkerbell if you want, but ultimately just know that maybe heartbreak came, but love is, oh, I'm like, love is ultimately going to be your legacy. So 333 is also still on the clock right now. Just know that, the compassion that you give to others, and if for some reason, because of your pain, you weren't choosing that, just know that that choice to be compassionate, you know, that you're, that you're, it's like sprinkling the world with your favor, like with your, just know that it brings in, like, just know that yes, you've had heartbreak, know that, and that you are healing it, that if you've left things unsaid, you don't have to leave them unsaid, but you can have, your story, your story as it has been doesn't need to be your story as it's moving forward. Like, just because you've been hurt doesn't mean you'll always be hurt. Just be in a place where you're compassionately giving. And of course, that doesn't mean that, obviously at some point you're going to realize that there are people that you need to walk away from, because unfortunately, there is a need to want to get better. And some people may have it and some people don't. Um, and you won't be able to save those people. Even if they eventually get saved, it's not going to be through enabling them. So cut out and walk away what you need to walk away from, especially things that keep hurting you. And be willing to move forward to the things that, truly love you, the people who truly love and invest in you. Just, it's not a foregone conclusion that you will lose. But you both need to communicate, and you need to be modeling what compassion is. So, thank you. I really hope that this helped you. I am doing free readings, two free readings at 5,000 subscribers. So just make sure that you're subscribed and you comment and you're in the running for that. Also want to say thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. It all matters, and I'm really grateful. So let's move on to pile number 4. Hello, pile number 4, my beautiful and talented people. What will help you remove blockages and connect with the divine? What kind of shadow work was going to help you? Choices. Also, I was drawn to the 8 at the top. 8 is a strength, abundance. So just know. So when I said strength and abundance, the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles just, they just jumped out of the deck. So know that you can, like, you have the choice, like, you can move forward. You can move forward regardless of anybody else. Like, you don't have to wait for anybody else. You can move forward and build your abundance. Ultimately, you may have the chance to build something bigger and greater than yourself. And maybe eventually you may build that with somebody else, but you don't have to wait. You don't. And you should know that it's a choice to wait. So the 9 of Swords, that you do have this anxiety, you do have sleepless nights, but know that there is the ability to find peace, that you can take some time and find healing. Like, part of your choice is anxiety or peace of mind. And because it looks like you're being counseled to do what you can with what you've got, and maybe, even if it's just yourself. So the knowledge is like that it's just, know that you have so much more control than you think you do. What will help you remove blockages and connect with the divine? Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups can be an offer of affection, but I feel like it's also just showing with your actions that you care. So I'm getting, like, yes, there's a lot of things that you may be anxious about, but there's things that you can take control of that have nothing to do with anybody else. And some part of that is showing with your actions that you care. Part of that is being willing to make new beginnings, being willing to set new foundations, being open to the love that gets offered to you, but not waiting on it. What will help you remove blockages and connect to the divine? What kind of shadow work is going to help you? So, yes, you've encountered loss. But just because you've encountered loss, and that does lead you to have anxiety, because, why is your new life going to be different? Well, because you can take control of it. And unfortunately, we can't control any other human being, and sometimes they disappoint us. But they're still, like, not always lost. Maybe that situation and maybe that person was lost. And I understand that, that may make it hard for you to see the options that are in front of you. Again, because of that concentration on loss. However, like, you've got the Ace of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles. You have the power to build strength and stability, as much strength and stability as you want, and you are not dependent on anybody else. I mean, maybe you have situations, maybe you have people that, you know, maybe you will have situations where you collaborate, people who will show up for you. But the thing is, the people who show up for you are the people who matter. And the people who disappointed you, will concentrate on those few people who showed up for you, because those people who fell away, either they weren't, being the best versions of themselves, or they just weren't meant to be in your life. Maybe they just weren't meant to be in your life right now, but ultimately, whatever you want, you can manifest. Now, an individual person, of course, has free will, but you can manifest love, you can manifest happiness, you can have new beginnings, you can build things that will last after you die. You can bring whatever you want. It's like you can conjure it from the ether. You can bring whatever you want and bring it into reality. You can have it in front of you. You'll be able to touch, taste, and feel it. Not that not that you should taste everything, but and that you still, like, even though you've had losses, you still have those people who are there for you. You still have, like, don't get lost in your loss. Don't get lost in your anxiety. Page of Swords. I mean, this can be a communication of truth. This can be, I'm like witness. It's very weird. Okay, it's like you may have witnessed things. You may have, but see that as information that you've received. Yes, has it, caused you anxiety? Absolutely. But that Three of Pentacles came out twice. Like, even though you may have to start alone, like the people that you need, like the people, like the it's like the people that are meant to come and help you are gonna come in and help you. That you're that yes, maybe you need to be brave. Maybe you do need to start things on your own. Maybe, but I don't think you're gonna stay that way. And I think that through what you build, you're gonna bring in these people who build with you. And it's like, yeah, it's like it's like you really need to know your power. And of course, strength comes out. Strength actually normally is the eighth card, and I brought up 8 before. You are stronger than anything that will get put in front of you. And I know that it's not always going to feel like that, because part of what strength is, you know, facing the difficult. But you are power, and you are a force of nature, And you do need to make decisions and be responsible for your decisions. And realize that getting lost in your anxiety is a choice. Because, and maybe not for everybody, but you are strong enough to overcome it. Like you really are. You have this incredible strength and power, and you need to make the choice to use it. So yes, you feel fear, and you are going to be stronger than everything that comes against you. So it's one of those things that, yes, you feel fear, and it's not that things will never go against you, but the help will be there when you need it. Finding your peace is an option. Not letting fear take control of you is important. Because you are transitioning. You're going from one state of existence to another, one state in which your choices, whatever your choices are, you can make them into concrete reality. But some of those choices, like don't be somebody who's running away. Don't be somebody who's running away from your possible successes, or running away because not everything is in place yet. Like, you may never be given ideal conditions. But that doesn't make you less powerful. In fact, it is only building your power. So know that, yes, things are scary, especially because they're changing. Your life is not going to look like your old life. You may be building something that's bigger than you are. And you may have to start that process just with yourself. But you're strong. You are strong. Even though I know that when you're tired, when you can't sleep, I know that that's difficult. But there is going to be things that need to end. And I'm getting like that loop of anxiety is one of those things, especially since, again, you're so powerful that what you like, you're going to be able to manifest your things very physically, very strongly, and it's going to affect much more than just you. So I've got 2 pyramids. So I'm almost like just knowing that your own self-development and growth is going to affect the self-development and growth of others. Also, your self-development and growth is going to bring more of the people who are on your level. Again, just because you start alone, and you may have to start this journey alone, you may have been on this journey alone for a long time, but the people who are meant, like the people who are on the same page are going to be there. Like, they're going to show up. There are going to be people who collaborate. your road is going to start lonely, but it's not going to stay there. And the people that you bring in are going to be people who are on your level. The level of you being strong, the level of you making decisions to move forward, to, you know, find that inner peace instead of give in to that fear. So a lot of your shadow work is just realizing how phenomenally strong you are. I know it's hard to see, but it's the dragon. Like, you have this strength, you have this power. Again, you have this manifestation ability and this ability to attract abundance and keep abundance. With the bookworm, like, yeah, you're going to have to use your head. You know, your intelligence is part of this. Maybe research is going to be part of this. But ultimately, you are well on your way to growing. And yes, it's a lonely road for you now, but it's not always going to be a lonely road for you. And you're going to have to make the choice to move forward. You're going to have to make the choice to be strong, and you're going to have to make the choice to have faith that things are going to work out rather than this constant overarching fear that, you know, that maybe this time you won't be strong enough. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you that the things in front of you are going to be easy, but I am going to tell you that you are going to be strong enough. Yeah. And that there will be payoff and it will show up physically in this existence. So be willing to start even if you don't know where things are going to go. Because you're already somebody who's extraordinarily powerful. And the choices that you make are going to affect, yeah, they're going to affect more people than just you, because just because of who you are in your spirit and maybe even just what you were here to do. But yeah, you need to make choices and you need to continue to be strong. So thank you. I really appreciate you. If you do want a free reading, I'm giving away two as soon as I hit 5,000 subscribers. So just make sure that you're subscribed and you comment. And if you want to book a reading, I'm doing those. Just make sure that you email me. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's been liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Again, my email is in the description along with timestamps. So thank you.